and welcome to GC360, where news comes full circle. I'm Herndon Lee. We bring you news from the Georgia College campus and across the Milledgeville community. Today we have a special show to kick off our broadcasting for the spring semester. We're going to talk about football, in particular flag football. Our Georgia College intramural UWB flag football team won the national championship on January 5th in Round Rock, Texas. Joining us today are members of the team. The members are Josh Hammond, sophomore, second quarterback, majoring in psychology; Michael LaHood, a defensive pass rusher who graduated in 2019 with an accounting degree and is now an accounting graduate and a student here at Georgia College. They are here to join me to talk about the championship weekend. I'd like to start off with a free-flowing discussion. I'll ask a few questions, and whoever wants to answer, just feel free to answer up, and it's going to be a really good time. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, so starting off, I'm not sure that everybody knows that the flag football team, or that there is a national championship for flag football. So can you talk about how flag football intramural works?
Yeah, so flag football is a lot like football, where you get a quarterback and then but usually there's not a like an offensive line or defensive line. There's about one blocker and a center, and then basically everyone else is wide receivers and then corners or safeties. So it's basically football without the line. And instead of tackling, you obviously pull a flag. And then once you get a touchdown, it's 6 points, and then you can either go for 1, 2, or 3. So you can get up to 9 points on a single touchdown.
Okay. So you obviously have won multiple championships here at Georgia College. You won the state championship back in November at Georgia Southern, and now Michael is actually going back for the second time to Texas. So what was this weekend like? What was this year's national championship weekend like?
This one was a really cool experience because I'd never been out in Round Rock or Austin before, and I fell in love with Texas. It was a lot of fun, and then the teams there were all super good, and we honestly could have lost any game we played in the tournament except maybe 1 or 2. And so it was really competitive and really fun, and we came out on top, which is always a big plus.
We also have Mitch Risley here. He is the starting quarterback for Uncles with Benefits. Is this your first or second national championship?
This is my fourth.
Oh, okay.
So I've been around for a while. My first one was at Armstrong, the former, or Georgia Southern now, but it used to be Armstrong.
Okay.
But third with Georgia College.
Can you describe what this is like for you?
It's pretty cool. Going out on top finally. We've been there 3 times before, and we got third, and then we were runner-up last year, and finally winning it this year was pretty much the cherry on top of the career.
Josh, this is your first national championship, so what is this like for you?
It was definitely interesting. It's cool to see like what we have in store and like the level of competition we have to play against. But overall, it was sweet. I mean, just a weekend of playing flag in Austin, out of all places. So it was definitely fun.
So what were the field conditions like? I know here at Georgia College we have pretty nice fields, and at Georgia Southern they were also really nice. But how were the field conditions at Texas in the national championship?
Well, the fields there were definitely a lot better than last year. Last year we were down in Florida, and the fields by the end of it were just torn up and
sand pits, really.
Sand pits.
They had to fill stuff in with sand. They had at Texas they had half the fields were turf and half of them were just really well maintained grass. So
that's awesome.
It's pretty.
Yeah,
it's
I
pretty
typically
cool.
I don't really like turf all that much, but it was definitely a lot nicer than what we had last year.
So before the tournament started, what was the team's goal? So either if y'all won or lost, obviously y'all won, but what was one thing that y'all wanted to take away from this weekend, regardless of the outcome?
I don't think there was really regardless of the outcome. We kind of just wanted to win. We didn't really have any other goals.
I think the goal was to win it all, really, and not be satisfied really with anything.
Probably really disappointed. Yeah.
So after the pool games, y'all are 1-1. So what was the mentality going into tournament play, knowing that you were 1-1?
Well, our first couple games went kind of rough, and then I think our offense kind of had a meeting.
So I didn't play with the rest of the team during the state tournament and on campus. I didn't know if I was really going to be able to be around and play too much, but ended up that I fortunately could go play at nationals. But we kind of had to get the chemistry a little bit together. Everyone kind of knew what to do, but we just kind of had to, like, I guess, fine-tune it, and really kind of met after we lost the game in the pool play, and kind of were like, all right, let's figure things out. And after we got that going, it was pretty much smooth sailing after that.
Josh?
Yeah, it was definitely different because I played quarterback during the regular season, so it was a switch. But like Mitch said, we all knew what we were doing, so it was kind of just building up that chemistry and learning to play our positions better, just getting open and really learning what Mitch does at quarterback instead of what I did at quarterback, and the receivers had to adjust to that. So it was an adjustment for the whole team, but I think it was something that we pretty easily picked up. I mean, of course, because we ended up winning the championship.
So being a mobile quarterback is really, really important for flag football. Where other schools, I know Josh, I've just seen Josh play, and I know he's really mobile. Did you notice that every other school out there was really mobile? Just from me looking at the national championship at the finals, the opposing team, the quarterback wasn't as mobile, but he had different keys like passing the ball or handing the ball off to fake y'all out. So was being mobile like a key part of that weekend for other teams?
Yeah, for sure. It makes it a lot harder on defense. Michael could speak to that because he rushes, so he's got more of a problem with rusher people that can run too than
definitely. Like if there's a really fast quarterback, it hurts and it's tough to deal with. But luckily, I've had a lot of experience, rushing against Josh or rushing against Mitch in other games. So I'm used to the quarterbacks running around. Whenever they wouldn't have a mobile quarterback who's just kind of slow and stands there, they only have like 2 seconds to throw, which really shortens what they can actually do on a single play. So being a mobile quarterback is very important, since usually you don't have a lot of time if there's a fast rusher or if you're not blocking.
So during the weekend, Michael, you're obviously the defensive pass rusher. Is there one play in particular over the weekend that like really stood out to you, like what you did?
I mean, it's always a team effort.
I could tell you one that was for him that he made a good play on, but it was the quarterfinal against A&T. They threw a deep ball, and we were up by like 3 or something. So it was towards the end of the game, and there was like 20 seconds left, or maybe even a little more, and he got a sack that set him up for like a 4th and like 20 or something instead of being like 4th and 10. So it was pretty big play, and then we could kind of play a little bit safer on defense on the last play, but that one stood out to me.
Yeah, that was probably one of the biggest ones of the whole tournament, I'd say.
So
Got you, man.
Going to the championship, if I'm correct, y'all are facing the team that y'all lost to in pool play. So what changes did y'all make to overcome this team a second time for the first time, but playing them again?
It seemed like the first time we played them, we just were way out of sync. It was a bad day for throwing the ball, and
super windy.
We didn't use our assets as much as we should have. Like on average, we probably had about a foot of height on the entire of the team. So we weren't really using that very well. And then
had a couple plays on defense that we didn't make that could have helped it.
Yeah,
would have been big turning points in the game.
Had about 4 dropped interceptions.
Yeah.
So it was just a rough game overall. And then the championship game, we definitely just cleaned it up and took him down. Yeah.
Josh, you're being the second quarterback now that Mitch was the starting quarterback. What was your role as part of like a second quarterback? Since obviously some people don't know what intramural quarterbacks, that you can throw the ball back and have a second pass. So what was your role during this weekend?
It was a couple different things. I mean, I would throw the ball every now and then, but most of it was just pitches and then try to get some yards. So a lot more on my feet than throwing, actually. But honestly, I like the running part more than I like the throwing part. So it was more exciting for me, I would say. A little bit of a switch, but I enjoyed it nonetheless.
And it's college football and pro football. I mean, momentum is a huge part of the game. I mean, if you have all the momentum, I mean, you're very close to winning the game. Is momentum a big part of flag football as well?
Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely.
Can you just like, I know just like going through the championship weekend and just me watching the national championship, y'all come out second half, y'all have the ball, and y'all turn the ball over for the drive on the way down. but y'all still persevere and y'all come back and win. Can you kind of explain like how that momentum like changed like multiple times during the second half?
I think it started at the end of the first half where there was like 17 seconds left and it was 13-16, we were down, and we had the ball at like the opposite, I think like 25 or something. And
like that.
The play before that on defense, I came off, I hurt my thumb, and I threw my flags off. I was a little frustrated, and I came back on and didn't have my flags on, and that's a penalty. And so like that play happened, and I just spiked it. So there was like 10 seconds left, and we threw a Hail Mary at the end of the half, and we caught it and scored. So I think after that, we saw that we kind of got that, tied the ball game up, and we knew like going into the next play or the next drive that really it would be huge to score. Obviously not scoring there, but I think we just kind of were like, well, it's a one-score game still, so we can kind of still have a chance to come back and hopefully get the ball last.
I think at that point we kind of knew we could definitely score every time on these guys, and we just got really unlucky, and it bounced off a guy and got an interception.
Yeah.
So that it hurt, but then we still knew we weren't out of it or anything. We were about to we could come back and get back at them.
And I've just noticed by watching y'all's team that big throws down the field isn't like what y'all do. Y'all like to throw the ball over the middle and get 3 to 4 yards every single drive or every single play. Can you explain like what kind of offensive plays, like why those work so well, and like why going for a deep shot every single time isn't as important as getting 3 to 4 yards every single play?
Really, you kind of take what you can get in flag football, and it's hard to guard really quick throws. Like there's no contact in flag football, so you can't whereas in actual football you see people like shoving and pushing people at the line of scrimmage, so you can't really do that in flag. So it's kind of like you take advantage of your mismatches and throw short to set up like bigger plays. So we try to go short, then throw one long or something like that, and kind of just chip yards every play we can.
And is it really important to know the different rules? I know there's like a bunch of like small rules in flag football that people know and then some people don't know and that they can take advantage of. Is that obviously really important?
Yeah, big time.
Definitely. At that tournament, we would, myself and the rest of the team would try to do certain plays that would benefit us, but it wouldn't look like they would benefit us because of how flag is. Whenever there's a first down, you don't start from where you are. You start from basically the line, because you always have to get to the 20, the 40, the 60, and the touchdown. So if you start right in front of the 20, then it's a lot tougher for the other team to get a whole 20 yards rather than get 10 yards if they got 10 yards the last play. So basically, but a lot of the teams there definitely knew what they were doing. But I think we still were probably one of the more seasoned teams.
So I kind of want to talk about this last play. Y'all score with under 30 seconds left in the game. Y'all are set up to go for one. Y'all call a timeout, and y'all come back and y'all are going for two. What was going on in that huddle? That last timeout. What was the conversation going on in that huddle?
I remember I was yelling at Sawyer to call timeout and let's go for two, because I said, we're either going big or we're going home, and I need to get out of here. I can't go to overtime.
I was saying go for one. I came and started. I was like, all right, let's go for one. Let's beat them in overtime, because we could. I felt that we could stop them more than they could stop us. But everyone else was sitting there, dude, I'm gassed. I can't do overtime. And I was like, all right, well, Sawyer, our coach, he was like, all right, we'll go for two. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And found a mismatch, and
we had a guy who was mismatched the entire game that we weren't really taking advantage of. He's 6'7", 6'8", and the guy guarding was 5'4". So you just kind of toss it up to him.
Might have been executive, but it was like
give or take a few inches.
With Chapin's jumping ability, he can get up there.
And his wingspan.
Obviously, that was a huge play, and then obviously y'all win. So what was the feeling like for each one of y'all winning the national championship? For not only for UWB, but for Georgia College and the intramural kind of like team.
I would say probably for Mitch it was a little bit more than for us. That was his fourth try, where that was like my first try. So like I've never gone and like lost.
He's got a good record.
One for one, exactly. We'll be 1 for 2 next year. But I've never like gone to a tournament and lost yet. Like I've gone to 2 state championships. We won both of them. Like this is the first national championship I've been to. We won. So I feel like for me almost like I guess we go to the tournament kind of expecting to win, though.
I mean, you feel like Trevor Lawrence. That's what you feel like.
Exactly. Until that
Or Joe
championship
Burrow.
game.
Maybe Josh is just the secret sauce.
Maybe that's it. That's it.
It was the lucky rabbit's
about
foot. Yeah, for me it was definitely a lot of fun. Last year we came short, and it was a really frustrating game because nothing was really going right for us. And that was my first time at nationals, and I had fun, but I was definitely super disappointed. And then this time, I also I probably would not have been happy. I don't really get happy with the losses.
Yeah, I mean, I get upset when Georgia loses in football, so I obviously know. I mean, you know how it feels to lose in a national championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mitchell, how about you, man?
Pretty good. I'm finally getting that national championship. It's like the last, I guess, big thing that's been evading me in the flag football career. I mean, I don't want to say I've won everything else, but we've pretty much gotten 2 state championships, and finally winning it was really cool. I don't have to go back to college anymore. So
You can retire now.
I'm finally retired and all done. But,
Mitch has the most championships of any intramural player ever. Is that
I think so. Yeah, something like
Dang,
that.
that's quite an accomplishment. I mean,
Now he finally has that one.
Finally that one. It wouldn't have been complete without the last one.
Yeah.
but y'all actually beat the team that y'all lost to in the championship 2 years ago. I know for Michael that's obviously got to be something big, coming back and beating that, not in the championship, but in tournament play. How did that feel?
It was nice. It was kind of cool because last year in the semifinals we played North Carolina and we played them in the quarterfinals, and then last year in the championship we played UTRGV.
Big long
and
Texas.
we lost to them. And then so we came back in the semifinals and we beat all of them. They only had one player from last year, so it wasn't, as beautiful as it could have been. But it was definitely very nice to beat them and beat them pretty soundly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a pretty good cushion pretty much the entire game.
Mm-hmm. They made a comeback, but we held pretty strong.
Josh, since this was your first kind of national championship weekend, I mean, and you may take on as leadership as this team as you kind of continue. So what is one thing that you would like to take from this year's team and build onto next year's team?
Probably just the perseverance of the team. I felt like there were a lot of situations where, we got down. We got in the semifinal game, I think right at a halftime, we threw a pick and they almost took it back for 6. And then we did the same exact thing in the championship game. And I feel like for all of us, there might have been points and times where we felt like, dang, we might not actually win this, But I think we played through that, and clearly we played through that, and we ended up winning it all. So I would love for that perseverance to continue into next year, and that's just a collective group that has to believe in that. So hopefully we'll get them all to buy in.
Who would be back next year to continue on this legacy?
So we got me, and then the 2 taller wide receivers, Matthew Quint and Chapin Ryerson, are both coming back because they're juniors. And then Grayson Gavlik also has another semester to finish up. So we got 4 for sure, and then we'll just be looking for more talent elsewhere.
All right. Well, obviously you can keep me on the books.
Send us some film, and we'll.
That's right. Well, I think that Georgia College, we always have since we don't have an actual football team, I think we always take this as the undefeated team, never going to lose. And I think a lot of people now have looked at this intramural team as this UWB team. It's this is our football team. That is for me. When I go home, they're like, how does Georgia College not have a football team? I'm like, well, we do. It's an intramural flag football team, and we won the national championship.
Yeah.
Do you consider this okay? I don't know if you know this about Georgia sports, but we're cursed. Obviously. Do you see this as a broken curse now? Now that y'all have won the national championship, do you see this as a possibility for the Braves, for Georgia Bulldogs, for the Falcons? Do you see this, happening for everybody else now?
We can only hope.
Yeah. No.
We're still Georgia sports, so I don't know if I completely think the curse is gone.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
It's a nice one, though.
Yeah. Maybe if we all believe in it enough, then the curse will be gone.
I think you're right. But all 3 of y'all have earned the title as All-American. Michael and Mitch, you've earned this title before, but Josh, this is your first title as All-American. How does that feel for you?
It was pretty cool. I didn't know if I was going to get it or not, and then hearing my name called was pretty special.
Baby Yoda, come on, man.
Yeah, Baby Yoda. Yeah. But overall, I mean, it was really exciting. But, I mean, it's not about an individual, of course, like on our team. So it was just another thing that I got, but I was just more happy that we won it all.
Yeah, I remember last year I got it, and I thought it was really cool that I got it. I was still disappointed about the team losing. But at least I kind of got like a little consolation prize, I guess, in a way. And then this year, when I got it, I didn't even really care because I was so happy that we actually won the real championship. So I think Josh having the championship, it definitely doesn't. He doesn't know what a difference it makes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I mean, getting the All-American it's a cool honor to have, but I would have definitely wanted to win the championship rather than have it. I mean, it's just it's a better feeling after you win it, after you win the championship, and then you get the honors, instead of sitting there like, oh man, we just lost. Well, it's cool to have the honor, but you would rather have the championship.
like I did well, but obviously not well enough.
Yeah. Well, Mitch, you actually won MVP. Like, how does that feel? I mean, on top of everything, on top of all your different, intramural wins, you've now come out on top as a national championship MVP. I mean, how does that feel? Now that you can, quote, retire.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. It definitely would not have been possible without some of the plays that some of these other guys made and some of the adjustments that guys made on offense. We kind of had to change our offense a little bit and do some different things that really worked out for us. It's good having somebody like Josh to throw it to and somebody on defense that could get us the ball back really quick like LaHood. So they made it easier, definitely, for sure.
So just a few more questions. Like, is there anything that you would like to take away from, this is for Mitch, like anything that you would like to take away from your entire career as an intramural player? Here at Georgia College, overall, national championship, what would you like to just pass down to everybody else?
I guess just having the opportunity, all the work that Bert, Drew, and Driver have done to kind of give us the chance to go play in these tournaments in Georgia College, helping us pay for it and all that stuff. So really just the entire rec sports organization has made it really enjoyable to go out there. And some of the weekends that we've had at tournaments have been probably some of the best memories I have of college. So I think just having the opportunity to be with some guys that you're bros with and play some football is really a cool opportunity.
Yeah. Outside of the national championship, can you bring up like your highest moment outside of the national championship win that really resonated with you through your years?
And it was 2017. We beat Valdosta at state in the championship, and they won nationals 3 years in a row. So finally being able to beat them in the championship, that was probably the next, I guess, best moment that I probably had. Was beating them.
Michael, is this your last season as well?
Yeah, I'm done in May. So
overall, like, how do you feel? Overall through your experience and same question. Like, what would you like to pass down? To future UWB.
Yeah, definitely. Just knowing that they can go out there and beat any team in the nation. I want them to remember that. Georgia College has the best intramurals ever.
Sure.
And so many people play is a testament to that. I'm kind of happy to be done with flag because my body couldn't keep up at this point. I'm getting up there, I guess. I don't look too old, but it would definitely take a toll on me.
Yeah.
But
outside of the national championship, what was your favorite memory, a part of UWB?
My favorite memory was one of our first games where we were trying to go for 100 points and we were really close. We were playing this really bad team and we were just hustling and we were booking it out there. Just trying to get to 100. We got to like 86 or something.
Dang.
So, well, that was one of the most fun games. And the other team, they were cool about it.
Yeah,
they were cool.
I personally do remember y'all during the early fall intramural kind of season. Y'all scored about 30 points in about 45 seconds, just off of picks and just offensive drives, which is really, really cool. So Josh, kind of like a little different question. This is your kind of like first year with UWB. what was your outside of the national championship? What was your favorite moment about this season as a whole?
Probably beating Mitch's team in the championship the first semester.
That was nice.
Because beating him was like, it's like dethroning a legend kind of. But I mean, our team was definitely a little bit more stacked than their team was. Like for sure, we had the super tall receivers on the outside. We had so much more athleticism that it wasn't even funny. But
Dude, Drew and Driver, come on, man.
yeah, you're right.
Me and Drew, you got the old man of the Drew.
Drew's
I'm old.
45, still playing flag, so he can barely move. But but honestly, it was pretty cool to just say you beat Mitch Risley, the MVP, right?
Definitely, like for me, as a flag
Rematch.
football player and a team, you know, it's so scary to see on your schedule UWB or the money team, just one of those two teams, and you know you're just gonna be like, oh man, like what are we in for? How much we losing by? And you know, just something else like that. But
beating Mitch definitely kind of felt like a changing of the guard.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Passing the
You were
torch.
so good for so long, and now here you are.
No, I'm not.
Now you're not.
I'm old.
I think Georgia College like looks up to y'all now. I mean, like y'all have this mentality of national champions. Y'all have this title now as national champions. What would you like to say to the Georgia College community as a whole about being national, not just having the title of national champions, but going the distance, going this far, and obtaining this title?
Ooh, that's tough. I don't know. I mean, I guess just going out there and, you know, I guess my first experience playing something like this was like, I don't, you know, what is an intramural sport going to get for you? But, you know, going to get in all these tournaments and playing in them and winning the national championship is like, it's just pretty, like, it's a cool accomplishment that not a lot of people know about, I guess. And now that people know about it, it's just, you know, go out there and play intramurals and have fun and I guess just see where things take you. So I guess that's all I can say about it.
Any final words from any of you guys about the season or UWB as a whole?
UWB will be changed next year. That will not be our name again.
All right. Well, that.
Too bad. That's a good name.
And the bright pinky.
That's going to be it for our special premiere edition of GC360 for spring 2020. A very big thank you for all of our panelists for joining us. And thank you as well for viewers for tuning in. We'll be back with a newscast coming in the coming weeks. So watch our social media pages for alerts and shows. And we'll be up to date. And when we're not online, we'll be on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GC360 and at GC360 News on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find our YouTube page at youtube.com/GC360. Always available to you, GC360, where news comes full circle. All right, thank you guys so much for coming on. This was really awesome.
Appreciate you having us.
Yeah, man, this was really good. Y'all did awesome.
It'll be the maybe the name will come before the paint.
Should have worn the jersey.